Here live in the studio. I'm about to go deep. I got my own audience here in my Zoom call. If you want to join us, it's londonreal.tv/Zoom. They get the most love when it comes to questions. But if you got something here on YouTube, let us know. Today I want to talk about which cryptos to hold in the bear market, specifically talking about Ethereum, Cardano, and Bitcoin. And I want to go deep on each one and talk about just concepts in what if we're in this bear market, the sideways market, whatever you want to call it. So join us at londonreal.tv/Zoom. For my Zoom fans, are you guys ready to rock and roll? Let's do this. I want to share my screen. I want to get your feedback as well. Any comments, any questions, drop them in here. If you're coming late, type in what city you're from and any crypto you own, and because I want to see all the details here. Let's share the screen and let's get ready to rock and roll here because it's time to do this. Just thumbs up if you can see this screen as far as the screen share. Michael, you can see it. Epi, you can see it. Nuno, you can see it as well. Okay, great. And again, it's talking about which cryptos to hold in the bear market. I'm going to pull up the chat here as well so I can see what all of you are telling me, and I can see your beautiful faces as well. So we're multitasking here. Specifically, I want to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, and I want to look at the prices relative to each other. So I'm going to show you some really interesting charts today of not just the price of Bitcoin in dollars, not just the price of Ethereum in dollars, not just the price of Cardano in dollars, but I'm going to show you the price of Bitcoin relative to Ethereum and Ethereum relative to Cardano. How many people here in the Zoom look at charts like that? Not just things in reference to the dollars, but one coin in reference to the other, or coins in reference to Ethereum. Okay, a few of you do, but most don't. Good. I'm going to share with you some charts here that'll really help you a lot. Again, if you're on YouTube, come join us in londonreal.tv/Zoom in our Zoom room. That's where I've got beautiful faces and lots of love. So let's jump into this. I want to get into my details before we start any presentation. As you know, in my academy, I like to quote my man Sun Tzu from The Art of War. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Let's have a plan before we get into these situations so we try to work through them and not make knee-jerk reactions when we're in the emotions of the markets. We don't really want to do that. So we always want to make sure we kind of have a plan before the battle starts. Is everybody with me here on Zoom as far as that concept? Let's see if we can try to get these ideas forward and programmed in, which is really important. And I appreciate everybody here on Zoom, on YouTube as well. Leave me any comments or jump into our room at londonreal.tv/Zoom. So let me jump into the first slide that I want to share here. And that's talking about three cryptos I want to talk about today. And again, I'm going to mention a few layer ones. But for my folks on Zoom, you can see this. We've got Bitcoin, which is considered digital gold, and I want to talk about that. Ethereum, which is more of a digital technology play. And our first smart contract platform originally started back in 14, 15. And then I want to talk about how Ethereum has traditionally been that gateway into NFTs in the metaverse, although that's all changing with other layer one solutions. And then I want to talk about Cardano, because I want to show you a price graph of Cardano. It's had quite a nice move in the last couple weeks, and I want to talk about what's going on with Cardano. It's something we've been talking about a lot on this show for the last year, and I want to talk about how Ethereum compares to Cardano. So that's going to be kind of the plan, as well as some layer one solutions as well. How many people here on Zoom feel comfortable with all three of those coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum or Cardano? One thumb down if you're just a little bit iffy or you don't know maybe the details on, say, a Cardano. Okay, cool, because I'm going to go into that. Really quickly, I think it was Mike Novogratz that came to the Token 2049 conference here in London in October. And Mike came on and he said, look, he said, Bitcoin is considered digital gold. All right, it's a digital asset play. It's done that better than anything else. And most people would agree it's won. It's proven itself. You know, 13 years gone without downtime, without problems. The proof of work continues to function. It continues to be the most decentralized network out there. It's digital property, as Michael Saylor told me on the episode. And it's done a great job of doing that one thing, a store of value on the blockchain, trustless, permissionless. Everybody agree here on Zoom or is with me here so far? If you agree on YouTube, just type yes. You know, that's what Bitcoin has done, a digital asset play. But of course, it's not programmable. Right? It's not a smart contract. And what Michael Saylor said to me when he was on my show, I'll never forget, he said, Brian, I like Bitcoin because it has low aspirations, right? It's not trying to be something else. It's trying to be that one thing. And it does that one thing really well. So we let it do that. And then we move on to other things. So Ethereum, as Mike said on that same conference, is a digital technology play. If you really believe in the blockchain technology, the way to scale that is with a layer one solution like Ethereum. And again, we saw Ethereum originally with the first smart contract. It's the most liquid, it's got the most developers, and it first introduced us to DeFi in the DeFi summer of 2020 and introduced us really to NFTs. They were all traded on the Ethereum network in the beginning, and it opened up to very, very first of those metaverse plays as well. So Ethereum is that old school digital technology brand, it's now coming in to being a victim of its own success, right? High gas fees, high congestion. Anybody here sick of paying gas on Ethereum? Come on, show me those thumbs. I know my London Real people hate paying gas on Ethereum. And that's because it's been super popular. It's got tons of developers. And right now it's a victim of its own success, which is why we look to other layer one solutions, which is why in my presentation I've mentioned Cardano, because it's got a lot of traction. Charles Hoskinson's been working on this for a long time, strangely enough, an Ethereum co-founder as well. And he's been trying to build Cardano. They still have a lot of development tasks to do. And I want to talk about the price of Cardano and how it's reacting relative to Ethereum and Bitcoin going forward. So that's where we are so far. If you're on YouTube, come join us on Zoom at londonreal.tv/Zoom, and we're going deep. And I've got a bunch of price graphs, and I want to talk, a little bit more detail with what's going on here. So for my people in Zoom, I'm going to go to this next part here, which also means there's other layer one solutions. So again, we know Binance Smart Chain, we know Solana, AVAX, Tron, and Polkadot. We've had a lot of these people on our show. I've had both of the founders of AVAX on my show. We've been talking about Solana. We've had Justin Son of Tron. We've talked about the Polkadot Parachain on-check. So these are other layer one solutions. Again, if you're here with me on Zoom, type in, do you own any layer one solutions? What do you own? Do you own some Binance? Do you own some AVAX? Do you own some ADA? Do you own some DOT? That would I'd be really curious to see right now if you do. And again, Clemente is on the Binance Smart Chain, Wasim's on the DOT as well. And again, each one of them brings its own benefits to their ecosystem, and it's going to be interesting to see how the layer one wars play out. And I'm going to mention that at the very end of these slides. So let me just keep things going, and let me just start off again with a question I've asked these last couple sessions, and something Michael, Batista, I've been asking, and you know that. What is a bear market? Because this is something I've been debating in the background with my Academy members. Well, in traditional finance markets, where I come from, where I spent some time on Wall Street originally, a bear market is considered a 20% correction in the liquid stock indices. Okay, that's Dow Jones, that's S&P 500, and when it hits that 20, it can be qualified as a bear market. All right, that's kind of what it's considered. Now, what does that mean? Well, again, can something be a little bit of a bear market or a little bit of a bull market? Traditionally in finance, when you see that much of a correction, then you have a bunch of different assumptions that are going on. The Fed looks at things differently. But in crypto, a 20% correction can happen in a week, right? Does everybody here on Zoom know what I'm talking about, right? So you can have a bear market in like a week, and that doesn't mean that everything has changed. So again, you gotta ask yourself, does the term bear market apply into crypto? It's something to really consider, and it's something I'm curious. So if you're in Zoom right now, tell me, type in the chat now, yes if you think we're in a bear market, or no if you think that term maybe doesn't apply here. And again, if you're on YouTube, come join us at londonreal.tv/Zoom. We got a big live audience here, and we're going deep on questions. Let me see. We get a lot of yeses here on Zoom that are saying, yeah, we're in a bear. A couple no's from Lori, a few other people. Maybe is what other people are saying. Winter is here. And again, maybe we need new terms for it. Maybe we need something like a building phase, because that bull and bear market is something that's been used on Wall Street for 100 years, and it doesn't necessarily apply to a new asset class, a volatile asset class. And also, what does it mean? So we're in a bear market. Now what? What do I do differently? Does that mean I don't do anything? Does that mean I forget about crypto? Probably not. That's when most people are building. So that's what we want to talk about as well. So again, some great comments here coming through. I want to get to my first chart here on Zoom. And I want to, again, just talk about this concept of the trend is your friend. And it's something I want to talk about. I want to show you a bunch of different graphs today, some new graphs. But can everybody see this Bitcoin price chart here on Zoom? We can see the one-year price chart on Zoom, and you can see that it is trending down, right? We definitely see that it was at 68,000 in October. Now it's just about 31,000 right now, and we know it's trending down. And I want to talk about this concept of the trend is your friend, because I want to show you a price chart for ETH and for Cardano, and then I want to show you some relative price graphs, and I want to talk about what that means. So let's first define what is the trend. The trend is your friend. By the way, if you're here with me on Zoom right now, type trend if you've heard that term before and you agree with that, and type no if maybe you don't, because this is an interesting concept here. Tom agrees with that. Let me just talk about what this concept means, because it's important. So the trend is your friend means this: an existing trend is likely to continue, and it's worthy of your attention. Attempting to predict trends in advance is a difficult business. And again, even if you're an experienced trader, it's hard to do. So what I was taught in my first days on the trading floor on Wall Street was go with the trend. Even if you think you see something the market doesn't, betting against the market tendency usually ends up in tears. That's usually what it means. Does that kind of make sense to everybody here on Zoom? Adrian, Abalash, does that make sense? If you try to go against something, a lot of times it can end tears. So you need to watch the way things are moving. It's really important here as well. So again, I got a lot of people saying trend here. Depends on what kind of trend is what Nuno's saying. Leah's saying trend. So it sounds like a lot of people are kind of with this. It's important to look at where the market is going and not to be totally against it, or at least know if you're betting against it. So that's what we're looking at here. Let me show you a price graph here on Zoom. And this is Ethereum price action in the last year. And again, we can see, okay, back in November, it was around a 4,800 price point. Now it's around 1,900. So we can see Ethereum's trending down. And let's look also at Cardano, because it's one that I want to talk about today. And we can see Cardano is trending down, although we have seen some Cardano price increases in the last couple weeks, which is very interesting, and I want to talk about that today. So again, for the live Zoom chat, just type in Cardano or ADA if you have some of that. I'm just curious what the audience is like in here, if that's what people want to do or people are thinking that. So Michael's got some, anybody else got some Cardano, because we want to talk about that. And again, if you're on YouTube, come join us at londonreal.tv/Zoom, and we can kind of go into the depth on this. So again, those are those three trends. I want to jump in here and look at a comparison chart also between two pieces, because we can all see things are trending down, but when you start looking at the comparison chart is where you're going to see what's really happening. So again, on Zoom, let's go and look at Bitcoin versus Ethereum. And so for Zoom, I'm just going to get here and get my my smiling face back up and back to you. And again, great to see everybody here. Turn cameras on if you can. Great to see Roddick. Great to see Lori here. Great to see Eric as well. Haven't seen you in a while, brother. Good to see Paul. Good to see Abdash as well, and Stephen and Leah as well. So let's talk about these two asset classes, Bitcoin and Ethereum, because it's important to just go a little bit deeper on what they are and why it's important to look at both of those assets. So you've heard me say before, we consider Bitcoin and Ethereum to be the blue chip coins of crypto. It doesn't mean they're stable. And again, by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. It doesn't mean they're stable by any means. It just means they're the two largest protocols, and they do two very unique things. Bitcoin, like I said, is a digital gold play. Ethereum is that main digital technology play. Okay, there's a lot of other ones vying for it, and we'll talk about the layer ones, but those are the two main things that those bring to the table. I want to go back and share this presentation once again and just kind of go deep on these two assets, because you've seen, if you saw my last live broadcast, you could see that a lot of people are moving into Ethereum and Bitcoin as the market has trended down. And you saw I recently shared an influencer portfolio that was 50% blue chip coins, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum a year ago. Now it's 75% Bitcoin and Ethereum, because they are considered safer as the market kind of trends down. Now, can I just see in the chat here on Zoom, just type if you own Ethereum or Bitcoin or both. Just type in here. I'm just kind of curious who owns it. And just know if you don't. We got both from Clemente, both from Ann, and both from Angela. Ann says no, both says Michael as well, both from a few others. And so it's important to consider these as the assets that are going to go down less in a bear market. And that's kind of generally a thought as most likely scenario. Benjamin Cowan talks about this as well, one of our former guests. And again, I want to go into a chart now that's really important. And if you're here on Zoom, you can see this right now. And this is a really interesting one. And this is Bitcoin versus Ethereum. So again, this is something that you can pull up on any chart system. You don't necessarily look at a cryptocurrency in terms of dollars. You look at one versus the other. And can everybody see here on Zoom? This is a price chart here of Bitcoin versus Ethereum. And again, let's go back to trends, because we can see that this is trending down. And you can see ever since April and May that this is going down from, I think where it was, let me just check my charts here, around 0.8 maybe back in April, or 0.08, sorry, and that's again the price of an Ethereum versus Bitcoin, going almost down to, I believe it is 0.06 right now. And so you can see it's a pretty significant move as we've seen over the past 3 or 4 months. How many people here on Zoom have ever actually looked at that chart before? Just thumbs up if you've ever looked at Bitcoin versus Ethereum, or thumbs down if you never have. Nuno, Gustavo, Bernie hasn't, anybody? Okay, it's an interesting point, because it shows that as the markets have been coming off, people have been getting into Bitcoin more than they have Ethereum. So again, Both of these were considered blue chip in the past, but as the market goes down, it seems there is still a flight to quality, and that one highest quality asset that the market seems to intend is that Bitcoin, that digital gold. Of course, going forward, for a digital technology play, you're still going to look at things like Ethereum, at Cardano, at all these other things that can potentially scale. Because the last time I checked, Bitcoin's not planning on a smart contract. They're not planning on doing all of these other DeFi pieces. They're definitely not planning on any NFT or metaverse plays that I know of. So if you believe those are the future, and again, here at London Real and inside our Crypto and DeFi Academy, we're very bullish on DeFi. We're very bullish on the metaverse. We're very bullish on blockchain gaming, and very bullish even on NFTs and the concept of owning your own information. If you want to be a part of that upside in the future, you're going to have a digital technology play. Bitcoin's not going to do it, but in these markets, you can see a lot of people are getting into Bitcoin. So again, if I could just have a couple thoughts here in our Zoom chat, just type yes if right now you feel like getting your Ethereum into Bitcoin, or type no if you feel comfortable owning your Ethereum. I think that would be a good thing. So yes, if you want to move into Bitcoin as these markets go down, or no if you want to keep a digital technology play like Ethereum. So interesting, a lot of people here saying no, ETH is strong. Wasim, Clement, Michael, okay, a lot of people are here really still believe in this technology play, which I think is a really important point. Is that if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, it's very easy to use this time to say that we always told you so, Bitcoin's the one and only thing. But if you believe in this technology for the medium term, then you want to also be involved in things that can scale when everything changes. We believe the blockchain and peer-to-peer and Web 3.0 is going to change everything that we understand here as humans. And if you believe that, well, Bitcoin isn't the asset that's going to reap those rewards. Sure, it's going to be important. A lot of people are going to use it. It's always going to be a part of most people's portfolio as a digital gold play or a digital asset play. But if you really believe in all these other things that are going to happen, you're going to need to have assets other than Bitcoin. And this is where we're at with this market. This is where you're going to have to be like, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to stick to this layer one? Do I want to go into something else? Or do I want to stick with something that I know is potentially going to hold its value through this market? So this is a very interesting piece here. I want to go to my next slide, but I also just want to stop the screen share real quick before I talk about Cardano. Just seeing all the faces here. Again, turn cameras on. Roderick, great to see you here. Alexander, good to see you. Angela as well. Just can I see thumbs up if that made a little bit more sense? So thumbs up if you see that Bitcoin price relative to Ethereum. What the market's showing us is that people are moving to quality. They're like, you know what, I'm concerned. I know that Bitcoin does something as a digital asset play. I know Ethereum has a lot of potential, but you can see relative to one to the other, it's moving. That being said, there's still a lot of other layer ones and smaller plays that are coming off much more significantly. And that's why I want to talk about Cardano next, because I think it's really interesting to see. And again, love to see all the comments that come in here, which is great to see. So let's go back, and I want to share the screen, and then I want to finish, of course, with a bunch of questions and talk about other layer ones. But let's look at Cardano, because I think it's an interesting one to consider. And let me just tell you, just a quick aside, which I think is really interesting. For the past year, I had some of the best in the business, and we continue to have some of the best of the business on the show. That comes from fund managers like Anthony Scaramucci, Dan Moorhead of Pantera Capital, Dan Tapiero of 10T Holdings, from all the top layer one solutions, from crypto influencers, from Bitcoin influencers. And I asked them all one question in the beginning. Will Cardano surpass Ethereum? Because at the time, Cardano was about to launch, and it was becoming very hot, and the price was going up. Very interesting to say how many people said that it would. And I'm just curious in the chat right now, if you had to give me a number right now on Zoom, 100% said Cardano would pass Ethereum, or 0% said Cardano would pass Ethereum. What do you guess right here in the Zoom? I'm very curious. If you could just do a quick survey here and tell me what you think. So again, 100% said, yep, Cardano's going to pass Ethereum. 0% said there's no chance Ethereum will always do that. Can I just get some chats here and just see what people say? So interesting. Clarence said 100. Eric said 0. A bunch of zeros here. A bunch of zeros. A couple hundreds. Okay, this is really good. And if you're on YouTube, you can come join our room. It's londonreal.tv/Zoom. Here's what people said almost exactly to the person. And I must have asked probably 10 or 12 key influencers. They all said it won't happen. They said Cardano will not pass Ethereum, or it's going to take a long time for it to do it. And again, I was very surprised at the time, and I said, why? And they said, look, Ethereum's been around for a long time. It's got a lot of developers. It's got a lot of traction. It's got a lot of market share. And some of them said it's like the Microsoft Office of the blockchain. It might not be the best software in the world, but it has the most developers, the most users, and right now it's going to be very hard to surpass that. And I thought it was very interesting. And I thought that was a very interesting point to make. So take that with a grain of salt. It's still an upcoming layer one. Charles has a lot of great plans. And let's look now at Ethereum versus Cardano. And if you go, again, to the screen I'm sharing here on Zoom, if you're on YouTube, you can join us there. A couple interesting things. First of all, Ethereum is talking about its merge and its upgrade to Ethereum 2.0, the proof of stake mechanism, in the next few months, which we were all very surprised, talking about it in August. It might be being pushed back. You know, if and when that happens, it could mean massive increases in scalability and drops in costs and improvements in efficiency in Ethereum. Of course, it's a big unknown. We also need to make sure it works because right now Ethereum functions and it's a big unknown. Cardano, on the other hand, it's been talking about its Vassal upgrade, and that's potentially going to give it a lot of potential going forward. And so again, we've seen that Cardano price spike a lot, and we're expecting this June upgrade to increase a lot of its scaling capabilities. So again, there's some interesting things happening with both, and they're right up there as far as the top layer ones. Maybe Binance Smart Chain has a slightly higher market cap. Let's look at the price gap of one versus the other because this is interesting. So can everybody here on Zoom see this? This is Cardano versus Ethereum. We just saw Bitcoin versus Ethereum, and we saw it kind of going like this, right? Again, people were basically the price of Ethereum was going lower compared to Bitcoin over the past 3, 4, 5 months. Cardano versus Ethereum is interesting because yes, it's trending down, as in Ethereum was performing better than Cardano, but you can see the last couple weeks, Cardano has had quite a spike. And again, a relative spike, not just a price spike. So it means that the market is saying, okay, maybe it's going to come in and grab some of that digital technology play we were talking about. And again, there's two camps here, and I'll share with you a couple things that people have told me behind the scenes. They said, look, you got Vitalik at Ethereum, you got Charles at Cardano. They said they're kind of in two camps. Charles likes to white paper everything to death and research it, prove it before you launch it. And they said the old Ethereum camp was a bit more of let's launch it and let's build it in flight. Is everybody with me here on Zoom as far as those two kind of camps? And again, maybe this is a generalization, but a lot of people have commented this probably true. Now, so you've got two different competing philosophies and ideas. A lot of the reasons that Gavin Woods and Hoskinson left the Ethereum blockchain is because they didn't see it being able to develop as fast as it was going to need to scale appropriately. So they thought, let's go pick up some new ones. And so that's one of the reasons that, again, a lot of these people created these new layer one solutions. And I used to joke, we're running out of Ethereum co-founders for these layer one solutions. So we've only got so much left. The good news is there's a lot of money going into new layer one protocols, and I want to cover them at the end. So again, it's interesting to look at this price graph. If you are a fan or a follower of Cardano, you can see that that price action has helped recently. What I would say is this: it's important to go back and also look at the number of developers, the history, and the infrastructure built on Ethereum. And although the gas fees are high and the congestion is high, and we don't see an end in sight because we don't know if ETH 2.0 is going to come, one thing you have to say is, though, it has customers, it has developers, it has a brand name, it's got people who know it and who use it and who are used to using it, and it's got tons of apps on it. It's got the Ethereum virtual machine that a lot of networks build to. It's got a lot of good things going for it. I think Cardano has also a lot of wonderful things going for it, but the jury is still out as far as one's going to surpass the other. If I could get just a quick final vote here in Zoom, which one would you bet on if you had to choose one, Ethereum or Cardano? That's my question I'm asking you hard right now. And I'm just going to unshare this screen and look at your beautiful faces. So again, here on Zoom, let me just get you to type in there what you think, Ethereum or Cardano, and just to share with everybody here the kind of stats I'm seeing. Okay, ETH, ADA, ETH, Cardano, a little Ripple in there. Cool, I always appreciate that. We're going to do a whole show on Ripple. I appreciate people in there. Cardano, so again, you all are saying a bit what the influencer said. Now that doesn't mean Cardano doesn't have a chance and won't have a choice, but it just means that it's something to keep in mind. And again, the trend is your friend, like we said. So again, if the developers are trending there and a lot of people are trending there, you have to keep in mind where the market share is and what that is going forward. So again, if you're on YouTube, come join us at LondonReal.tv/Zoom. I want to share with you a couple of my final thoughts here on layer ones, and then I want to go to your questions, which is great. And again, please leave me any questions in Zoom, which is really important. So let me go into this final share here, and some great questions through coming on Zoom here, which is good. And I want to go back to that. We got Clemente and Eric Shazi as well. So let me just talk about some final thoughts on layer ones. Again, I call them the layer one wars. We've had a lot of them on the show. Let's talk about some of the prominent chains. So Binance Smart Chain. Again, I was in Paris a couple months ago, and CZ was on the stage. He was the keynote speaker. I was there in the front row, and it was incredible to see him talk about his vision. Binance obviously has its own centralized exchange. They also have their own layer one solution. They've been working for a long time. And again, CZ is in the market. They have a lot of great things going for them. And they have a lot of market share, and they have a lot of market cap. If you look at them, they're still, I think, the largest layer one after Ethereum, still to this day. So you have to understand there's great market share. Solana, how many people have Solana here in the Zoom chat? Just type in Sol if you have some. You know, Sol had some downtime, I think over the weekend, 5 hours of downtime, but still, it's been an incredible user experience. It's really done big things for NFTs and Metaverse. It has a lot of price action. It's got some serious backers with Alameda Research and FTX. So again, it's something that's hard to ignore. And again, people can argue that it's not the most centralized or decentralized protocol. It has some downtime, but it also has a lot of users. It has a user experience, and clearly people still want to use Solana. So it's something to watch. AVAX, I've spoken to Emin Vincere on the show and John Wu as well. They're building something impressive. They have a consensus algorithm they believe in, and they have a lot of old school companies, management consultants companies starting to use their protocol. And again, it's fast and it plugs into DeFi solutions like Aave. Something to watch. Tron, we've had Justin Sun of Tron on. Tron's building a very real and credible layer one network, and they're also pushing forward with their stablecoin as well, even in these markets. And again, they're gaining market share as well. If you have Tron, type Tron in the chat. I'm curious. And finally, Polkadot. Gavin Woods is creating what he calls a layer zero solution. So he wants to build a layer zero solution that you can build your own layer one solution on. And again, there's a lot of great ideas in there, some great insight, and a lot of amazing innovation happening there as well. So the good news is there's a lot of money and intelligence going into layer one solutions. If you have any of those, please type those in the Zoom chat because I'd love to know what you're thinking. And again, we've got some Ripple fans here as well. And if anybody owns these layer ones, we got people Solana, no Solana. Some people are saying Tron, Hedera Hashgraph. We had them on the show as well. Vance Harmon, which is good. We got some Polkadot people as well in the house as well. So these are all good. I want to answer questions and talk more about these layer ones and what we see happening going forward. I think the final thought here, which is really important, is that trend is your friend. So whatever you do, look at what the market's doing. If you see the market doing a flight to quality going into Bitcoin, understand that and know that that is what's happening. You could bet against it. If you still believe in Ethereum and the 2.0 upgrade, great. I had Kane Warwick here of Synthetics recently. He said, Brian, this upgrade's happening. ETH 2.0 is happening. It's all going to kick off. Everything we've been waiting for is going to happen. Okay, great. He's more of Ethereum maximalist. If you believe that Cardano is going to innovate and do the things that other things can't do, great. Again, we're looking for a great consensus algorithm for proof of stake from Cardano, from Solana, from AVAX, from Tron, from Polkadot. Once those are proven, we know they can scale as long as they can be reliable, and that's really important. But again, always the trend is your friend. So one of the big things I would say is make sure you price these things relative to each other. If you're going to go in and switch some of your assets from Bitcoin or Ethereum into one of these layer one solutions, look at the price versus one versus the other before you go into it. Don't just look at the dollar prices. I think that's really, really important to look at as well. And again, some great comments here, some more Hedera fans, some Polkadot fans, a few Polkadot fans, which is great. We got Stellar, XRP, and as some people say, buying the dips as well. I want to go to your questions now, but just want to finish up with a couple final thoughts here and show you a couple relative price graphs. So again, if you're here on Zoom and if you want to join me on YouTube, it's over here at LondonVille.tv/Zoom. You can see I went ahead and priced AVAX versus ETH. And again, AVAX has not performed very well versus ETH in the last few weeks and few months. This is something worth noting. And again, we've had the founders on the show before, and we've heard them talk about their consensus protocols, and we know a lot of people are using them, but this is a trend that's important to look at. And again, on that same note, look at Binance versus ETH. Can everybody see this here in the Zoom call? We can see that Binance is pretty strong compared to ETH. A lot of people have been using Binance Smart Chain for a while. Just type Binance or BNB in the chat, or give me thumbs up if you've been using the Binance Smart Chain as a layer one for a while. A lot of people have been using this to move things around in the background for a while, and they're versed in Binance. And again, Binance has a lot of interesting things going forward as well. So there's some great things, some great questions coming here as well. Just wanted to finish with a few points that I love to make here. You know, to successfully invest long-term in crypto, you're going to need three important things, and I've said it before and I'm going to say it again here, and that's education, mentorship, and community. You can know all these coins, you can have all these thoughts, but if we can't have these conversations together as a group, then I think you're always going to struggle to find consensus among people, to find out what real people are doing, and to find a community of real people doing that. And you know, that's what we love to do here inside our academy, and it's what we're doing tonight. Actually, we're kicking off the live call in just under an hour here. So again, would love for some of you to join us or rejoin us, because it's always fun, and it's great to have that community globally talking about these protocols and ideas. I think we got the best people in the business, and it's super exciting to happen. And that's happening literally in under an hour if you want to come join us. We've got a link in here if you want to come join us as well, which is londonreal.tv/buy, B-U-Y. And you can literally get on that call and see my shining face here in about 50 minutes live on the call, complete with this global community of people that are joining with us. It's 4 weeks, 4 modules, as a lot of you know. And of course, it's 8 hours of live calls with me. It's access to all of my modules. I got module 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the bonus module. Many videos for every single module going through all the protocols, hot wallets, cold wallets. We've got our team leaders. We've got our community managers. We've got private groups for posting videos. I've already seen everybody doing their vlogs. And again, it's just an amazing community to be a part of. And that's all happening tonight. And anybody here on the Zoom call is pre-approved, londonreal.tv/buy, B-U-Y. I'm telling you, for the next 4 weeks, if you want to be on top of these markets, if you want to be talking with me about a bunch of these concepts that we're talking about, and speaking with people in multiple time zones that are all involved in these protocols, some of them managing funds, creating dApps, some of them new, this is the place where you want to be. And it's great to have a peer group, especially when we see, you know, clickbait headlines and everybody getting scared and freaked out with what's going on. It's important to have a group of people. You know, we got amazing success students as well, and I love to brag about my people here. So as you can see here, this is Marianne. She's our former Wall Street analyst who's now moved and has transitioned her career into crypto, and she's starting her own live event. She's got her YouTube channel coming up, and it just goes to show you that anybody can reinvent themselves and anybody can create a media influence at any point in their career. It's all about pulling the trigger and just jumping in and getting into it, and it's great to see her success. It's been tremendous. You know, I've also got people like Andrew who's literally building things in the sandbox. He just bought a 6x6 plot of land in the sandbox in addition to his 3x3 plots, and he's building mansions and NFT galleries, and he's also teaching some of the best in the business in Switzerland and as well all over the globe. And we love having Andrew involved in our academy. And of course, there's Encore, who just crossed 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. His videos have 30, 40,000 views. He flipped a Tom Brady NFT for $20,000 the other day. These are the kind of people in our community, next level people that you can connect with, and you get to connect with because of our incredible network here at London Real. So that's what's happening. Again, 4 weeks, 4 modules, and I go through Module 1, Module 2, 3, 4. Module 1, I go through the history of everything. You're going to read the Bitcoin white paper. You're going to see how Ethereum was created. You're going to see everything that happened in the ICO boom and bust. You're going to see smart contracts, DeFi summer, and we're going to get right into what's happening with ETH 2.0 this year. Week 2, we're getting into the arena. Again, it's hot wallets, cold wallets, stable coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you start doing things in a decentralized finance manner, moving things around with Uniswap, etc. It's pretty exciting to actually get in there and do it. And now is the time to learn. In week 3, we go deeper on all the DEXs. We go into liquidity pools, yield farming, and also go into options trading, which is fantastic and super exciting and very interesting. And again, we're putting in the work, putting in videos, high accountability, high action. So if you ever really want to do this stuff, now is the time. And of course, week 4, I get into all of my protocols on intelligent investing, 10-coin rule, 30-day watch list, my first system. All of this is about having discipline. So you put stop losses in and make sure that you do intelligent risk and trading in all of these markets. So that's what happens throughout the course. It's an amazing time. And again, it's a great time to join, and you can see us tonight on that call. Again, it's londonreal.tv/buy, B-U-Y. If you're on the Zoom call, you're pre-approved. You can jump in and join us tonight. It's going to be an amazing community, amazing 4 weeks. And I'm going to be going deep into a bunch of things that we talked about tonight as far as relative price action, what we're seeing from the influencers, portfolio analysis, and all of that other good stuff as well. I'm throwing in some bonuses on top of that. So I've got a whole 90-minute piece on how I talk about how I look at early stage investing and pre-sale tokens. This is what we're doing in the background with our investment club. and our Kings of DeFi program. Also bonus too, I'm throwing in Dan Pena live at the Ritz, 6 hours of the $1 Trillion Man, yelling at you to get you started. This was from a private event we did that had a high price point with a couple billionaires in the room, and it's him going. I just heard the gong go in my system, so one of you just joined us for tonight, which is great, and looking forward to more of you joining us. It's going to be an amazing experience, but we'll throw in Dan Pena live at the Ritz, and of course, third bonus is how to really get in and understand and trade NFTs. This is from the experience we've had with minting our own NFTs and a lot of our people on the inside, what they're doing with the NFTs. NFTs aren't going anywhere. It's going to be how we have a proof of our identity going forward, ownership of everything cross-platform, and it's important to understand those things now. So those are the three bonuses. Again, you're pre-approved on this. I just want to say our academy, it's not for certain types of people. It's not for crypto day traders, not for people looking to get rich quick. Somebody else will sell you that course. It's not for meme coins and trolls. It's not for blockchain fanboys and academics. This is for people who want to take action, get into the arena, and really move things going forward. And big shout out to Greg Popwell, who just joined our academy. Greg, we'll see you in about 45 minutes on the live call. It's going to be a great time. We got a great class. And look, just want to say, life all comes down to a few moments. This is one of them. And I just want to say, come pull the trigger and join us tonight. It's going to be an incredible, incredible experience. So I'm going to stop this screen share and just get back to everybody here. Thumbs up if you're still with me here, Alexandra and Michael as well. And I want to answer a bunch of questions. Lori, great to see us. And again, would love to see a lot of us, you join us tonight in inside the Academy for the 4 weeks, or rejoin us in Kings. There's some exciting things happening right now, and I think this is the time to build and invest. This is not the time to run, which is a really important concept. One of my students the other day said, millionaires are built in the bear market, or millionaires are created in the bear market. And this is the time really to build. So I want to go with some final questions here. And again, can I just get coins that all of you are looking at right now? That's really what I want to see. If you could just type those in the chat right now. So again, any layer ones we mentioned, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, or anything else that you're looking at as well. Angela Carpenter just said on Zoom that you're super interested, that you're new. Great to have you here, Angelica. And again, you could literally join us tonight in the inside. It's really a high touch point community experience where we spend 4 weeks together and we go deep. And a lot of times we spend even longer together. Some of us will spend the next 10 years together building these protocols. And again, someone saying, love the suits. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We got Nuno owning Mana and Sand. So those are two of the biggest metaverse plays out there. Sandbox and Decentraland, very two different plays. But again, we have students with a lot of land in Sand, actually, or land, which is the asset in Sandbox, and a lot of them building it. We have people in Cardano and Phantom. We've had Michael Kong from Phantom on the show before. He's doing incredible work there. Cardano, we got Ethereum. We've got Sandbox in here. Interesting to see a lot of metaverse plays here as well. Look, when it comes to the metaverse, Web 3.0 is happening, whether we like it or not. And this is going to be a real issue, and this is going to change everything we know. Web 2.0 is where I'm streaming right now on YouTube and Instagram, where basically a few middle companies take all of the value, they take all of the income, and they restrict everything. We want to move to Web 3.0, where we can have a peer-to-peer relationship. And honestly, right now we're talking through Zoom, but the people here, I'm looking at you right now, in the future, I'm going to be able to share content directly with you. I'll be able to decentralize my content, share value directly with you, which is really important, and it's in a real and amazing way going forward. So again, want to go down to questions here on Zoom, which is great. So John just said, thanks for Zoom, fun to participate. Greed is good. So he was making a reference to my Wall Street thing earlier is there as well. Eric Shazi earlier said on Zoom, Bitcoin moves first as it's the space leader, and then the alts usually follow. So yeah, you can see, Eric, that obviously we have a Bitcoin dominance going up. The next asset class down the pecking order is kind of Ethereum, and then you kind of get into some of these layer ones. It's also according to market cap, which is what we would understand. Again, the big lesson here is this: the trend is your friend. So try to look at these assets according to one another. I think that's really important. Don't just look at them according to dollars. And again, try to look at the trend. So again, if you see that Bitcoin Ethereum trend, it's kind of hard to go in and sell all your Bitcoin and buy Ethereum on the back of that price graph. It's showing you it's trending one way. Now, you could average in a little bit, you could convert a little bit if you wanted, but again, it's really important to look at that trend and kind of see what's going on there as well. Also, as we wrap this up, I'm curious, what are the layer ones that you all think are going to win? That's what I want to know. And also, I'm curious here on Zoom, do you think the ETH 2.0, the merge, is going to happen by the end of the year? That's what I want to see. So type merge if you think it's going to happen by the end of the year. Type in no if it's not. And again, some great things here. People saying Sol, Binance Chain, Tron, Dot. ETH 2.0, yes for Martin. There's a lot of no's. Okay, no, merge, August. Okay, Nuno saying that. It's going to be interesting. You know, I had Justin Sun of Tron on my show, and you know, Justin's pretty controversial. By the way, Justin said I own more Ethereum than Vitalik. That was one of his statements. Do we like that here on Zoom? Justin's good at those statements, right? And he said, look, Brian, he said maybe Ethereum should remain proof of work. He said it does that really well. Maybe leave the proof of stake to the rest of us on layer ones and just keep doing what it does well, because what we don't want is Ethereum to stop working. And again, this is a big question mark, and it's like building something in flight, and so we're just really not quite sure. And it's going to be interesting to see. We got a few merges here from Nuno, Charles saying merge, Shishnu saying merge, Henry saying merge, Selma ETH 2.0 in 2023. You know, it's interesting. People have been talking about proof of stake Ethereum for years and years now. When I asked Stanley Kulichev of Aave when he was in the studio, he said, Brian, sometime before the end of the decade, and he laughed. And again, his platform does most of its business on Ethereum, and he still was a little cautious. So I think it's really important to think about that. Martin saying there'll be bugs on Ethereum 2.0, so more buying options. It's possible. It's going to be really interesting to see how these play out. So again, just would say to everybody here, would love to see you tonight on the course, of course, LondonReal.tv/buy if you want to join us. Also, we're extending King's membership if you're a former grad here for a full 6 months. So we've got a special link to that. So just check in with us and find out if you want to jump into our King's program. We've got an amazing group in there. And obviously our investment club is what we're doing with early stage investing in pre-sale tokens. That's all inside the Kings. You got to be one of the Kings to kind of join that. But that's all happening as well. I would just say use these times to build. And for that, you personally, that means invest in your education, invest in your network, and invest in, I believe, early stage tokens and work on being advisors and helping other people build their protocols. It's so much fun being involved with people on the ground floor and being involved in these exciting new chains. And we just love to see the energy. And again, we believe that Web 3.0 is happening regardless. We believe that blockchain and decentralized finance is a fundamental shift in technology and the human paradigm to where we want to value and exchange value peer-to-peer. We do believe this is going to be bigger than the internet, and we do believe if you look out to 10 years from now, this is going to be just massive. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. So if you believe that, you want to use these times to build, and that's a really important concept. So again, you can start with your education, which we can help with, your community, which we can help with as well, mentorship we can help with, build your influence. Again, so many of our Kings now are starting YouTube channels that are reaching out. One of our Kings in our investment club just got offered 6 figures of advisory tokens for a new pre-sale blockchain protocol, all because they're out there building themselves. So I would say, if you're tired of looking at the price of Bitcoin every day, join a community that's building something going forward. And that's what we love doing inside the Crypto and DeFi Academy. Tell me any final questions here, leave them in here. And again, I just love everybody coming here and showing up. I just appreciate Michael and Ann and Gustavo and Jeff and Eric. Good to see you as well. John and Vince and Alexander for just being here. I hope this helps and helps you look at things relative to everything else. These layer 1 solutions are very interesting, and the price relative from one thing to the other is interesting. It's also nice to see a bunch of Ripple people in the house as well. And again, we're going to have to go deep on that at some point as well, because it's top 10 market cap. And obviously, it's had a really long history. It's got obviously challenges, but still a lot of people that use it and believe in it going forward. And so it's something worth talking about. Again, a lot of people are saying they appreciate the community, appreciate everything here, which is great as well. So again, just want to say thank you to everybody joining us tonight. I would love to see you on the course as well. And I think we're even extending a special version of this course to former grads as well. So it's LondonReal.tv/buy, or contact us or check your email and you can find out what's going on with this. Jeff is new to this. And so ETH, you know, a lot of people do inside our course is they start using ETH because we do DeFi protocols. And it's a great way just to get across the line. Again, our course emphasizes action, action, action. Take small size, move forward in these protocols, and you'll find yourself learning very, very fast. And that's been the story of London Real since the beginning. Take action, learn, and move forward. And so just want to say thank you to everybody here. I really appreciate you showing up. I hope you join us tonight. And again, share this video if it helps to make sense to everybody. But big love. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Ann. Thank you, everybody here. I hope this has been super helpful. And again, you can always see all of our interviews for free at LondonReal.tv. And look forward to you coming into our academy. Always looking to educate. LondonReal.tv/DeFi, DEFI, if you want to learn more about the academy, or /buy if you want to join us tonight on the course. So So that's it. Thank you much, everybody. Big love. I'll see you inside the academy. All right. Bye. Thanks, everybody on YouTube. I hope that was super helpful. Next time, join us on our Zoom room at londonreal.tv/Zoom. If you want to see us in our academy, go to londonreal.tv/DeFi, DEFI. It's a fun course, amazing community. We do a lot of great things and really get people across the goal line, which is amazing. So big love to you, and I'll see you